Hello and welcome. This video is going to be about Pleiadians and are you a Pleiadian starseed? So first of all, I'll quickly explain what the difference between a Pleiadian and a starseed. So what's the difference between being an actual Pleiadian, being a starseed? So a starseed is a human that has had a soul origin that originated in the star system of Pleiades. So they've basically been an interplanetary incarnated soul, which means that they've incarnated here on Earth at the moment as a human, but their origins were from another planet. And that's about it, really. There are Pleiadians living on planet Earth at the moment. They look very similar to us. They're humanoids. Quite often they're quite tall, like Scandinavian. They tend to have blonde hair with blue eyes if they're Caucasian, or they'll have dark hair with blue eyes, but they'll be very fair-skinned. They generally, like I said, as a starseed, you're incarnated into a human body, so you can choose whichever body you want to be in. So, and also according to where you are on the planet, you might have wanted to be a Pleiadian that incarnated in Africa, so therefore you wouldn't have the colouring of a typical Scandinavian, but you can still be a starseed all the same. Where is the Pleiades? So where are the Pleiadian people from? They're from a star system called the Seven Sisters, which is in the constellation of Taurus in the sky. That's where they're from. They're very close to us in appearance and in distance from the Earth. Their planet has only just gone into 5D. They've recently been through the same upgrade that we are now currently going to go through, or are going through, from 3D to 5D. So they've been helping the humans for quite a number of years. Whereas I am from Lyra, Pleiades is where, when the planet or Lyra was destroyed in the Orion Wars, a lot of the Lyrans decided to move to the Pleiades because it was very similar lifestyle, and they wanted to, they got on well with the Pleiadians, so they incarnated on their planet. So as a human, what are the Pleiadian traits? So Pleiadians tend to be a little bit like a Libra in their attitude. So they'll be very, very peacemaking. They'll be people pleasers, and they want to help. So they are the reason why a lot of Pleiadians, and I mean there's millions of Pleiadian souls down on the planet at the moment, they agreed to come down here to help with the upgrade of Earth. So, and of course they've got quite a lot of bloodline relatives down here that are humans, and they're very closely linked because, as I say, they look very similar to us. So you wouldn't know them if they were walking down the street and there was an actual Pleiadian there. You wouldn't know them. But what I'm talking about is Starseed, which, as we've explained, is a human that soul is from originally the Pleiades. The Pleiades is a very peaceful planet. They tend to be mostly vegetarian. The construction they've got on the planet is so if you imagine, if you've ever seen Lord of the Rings, you've seen the elves and the way the elves live. They're very peaceful, they can communicate telepathically, they drift around, they don't like violence, they try and live within the nature, they have got a hierarchy, they have got a royal family, and they generally treat everybody as equal, but they do also have a long-standing hierarchy of people that are in charge. If you imagine the buildings, unlike Lyran, where they would have wooden houses that fit into the structure of the planet, you would find that in the Pleiades, it'd be very much like Singapore. So you've got, if you imagine the Magic Kingdom, Disney Magic Kingdom, that would be, say, the palace made of crystal, or glass. So crystal as in the crystals that we use for powerful things here on earth. That would be what they make their housing from. It'd be quite see-through, but also inside, a little bit like a greenhouse. They're very good at planting and creating inside space as outside space. So their interior would be able to see outwards, maybe not inwards with the light and reflection, but they would be growing plants inside. They would try and integrate nature into their structures. So yeah, very much like the Elf Kingdom in the Lord of the Rings, but I'm talking to people that don't know the Lord of the Rings, but I'm pretty sure you all know Disney, so you'll know what the Magic Kingdom looks like. It's very pointed structures, and like I said, very environmentally aware. The Pleiadians were supposed to be in charge of the planet Earth, and they were put in charge of keeping light into the quite dense atmosphere of Earth, but they were a bit distracted, so they have left us on our own, and they feel a little bit guilty about that, so they've been incarnating. So you'd find that there'll be, more than any other starseed, there'll be a lot of Pleiadians here as humans at the moment. As a human, what sort of things will you find that a Pleiadian will have? Now, they do struggle to remember their origins. They often have traits that come out like autism, OCD, anxiety. As a human, they'll very often be, like I said, people pleasers. So they will attract narcissists because they've got this innate need to help people, which can attract them to people that are going to drain their energy. They can get distracted. They can get distracted by the human life and have children and then not remember where they've come from. So they'll just carry on through life as a human without actually remembering that, oh, I'm from another planet, I need to help humans to upgrade their planet. They will sometimes have allergies, or quite often will have an allergy, hay fever, allergies to some of our foods. They can come out with things, they can be diagnosed with what they call ADHD, something like that, because they don't incarnate and they don't come out completely human because they've got some traits, and they do struggle to remember their origins while they're here, which is a bit awkward, which is why I'm doing this video, because we need you to remember, because we need you to help us. But they need to remember that they can't help everyone. And if they find that they're drained, or they find that they end up with narcissists, they need to get their own confidence. They lack confidence, and they can get swallowed up if there's a stronger personality in the room. So they will not really voice their opinions very loudly, and they will generally have had a little bit of a troubled upbringing. Not necessarily, some won't, but they will have had a little bit of a troubled upbringing to teach them to be a little bit more strong within their adulthood, so that they can realize where they're from and what their mission is without getting too distracted by people that don't really appreciate them. Funnily enough, my cousin is a Pleiadian, and I'm from Lyra, and we've incarnated as a human cousin, and that made me laugh. I've got a few. My boyfriend is, I believe, Pleiadian, although he can't remember coming from the Pleiades. But when I explained to him what the Pleiades looked like, and I described the Magic Kingdom, the elves, he did sort of remember. I think he might have chosen in this incarnation not to remember. I'm not really sure. But anyway, Pleiadians, we love you, and please remember where you're from, that you're here to help, but only to help in the right way. Make sure that you don't give away your power. You need to remember that you cannot help anyone until you've helped yourself. Try to do a lot of meditation, because the anxiety can cause you to be particularly distracted, and your confidence, you know what you're doing, you've come here, you're very good healers, you're very good at creating herbal remedies. You do struggle as a human to accept the Western medicine. It does play havoc with your body and cause you to have allergic reactions. A lot of Pleiadians will go into the field of herbal remedies, healing people, helping with meditation. So, Pleiadians, if you are a Pleiadian or you think you might be a Pleiadian, please comment, like and subscribe to my videos to see my other content, and please remember who you are and help us to evolve by showing us the way, not by distracting yourself by trying to help people that don't deserve your help. You need to show people the way, get your confidence, and then you can show us how to live the Pleiadian life, how to be a diplomat, how to quietly be a peaceful warrior in this 3D atmosphere at the moment, and you're going to help us to evolve. So if there's anything you'd like to comment, please comment, and I will see you in the next video.